So good morning, my name is Natalia Angel, and today we have a grammar class having in account people who registered to take this class didn't come, and after 10 minutes, so we are going to just share the information and the topic for today in a quick way. So as already said, my name is Natalia, and this class was designed for a basic level, um, for a A1 level, an elementary. So this class is offered by online language community, and is not a mandatory class. So the idea is people come here just to practice and to review some topics. So having that in account, the agenda for today is composed by those topics. First of all, we are planning to do a warming up activity. After that, the idea is to introduce the main topic that for today is quantifiers, and after that, for sure, the time to practice or to get fun. So according with that, the goals or the objective for today is to make an introduction to quantifiers, to make a review for some people who maybe knows the topic, uh, and at the end answer what are quantifiers and how can use those quantifiers. So to start the warming up activity was built with a random well. So basically, it's a game. It's a game to wake up because this class is early for some people. So just to wake up to switch our Spanish language to English language, and also to get close with the English, like mm, feel comfortable with English, start to speaking in English, maybe to look for some vocabulary, and at the end is just to um, make part or get into the English atmosphere. So the exercise demand to answer by writing and in a loud voice also, to give some words depend of the structure the random will give us. So for example, if give us for two names of planets, so the idea is to write and say it in a voice aloud, Mercury and Venus, depend of the words the random will is asking. So for example, we are going to check this exercise here. We have here the random well, so we have just to spin it. And as you can see, there are some instructions or statements here. And the idea is to spin it, and the students will obtain in the sentence. In this case, the students should to write and say a singular word. So for example, a student could say just orange, and it's okay. And the idea is to practice the spelling by writing on the chat, and also to listen the student. If the student couldn't answer for any reason, the idea is the classmates could help him or help her. And that's the idea with this first activity. We can do again the exercise just to check another another instruction. So 2 words that start with C. The same. The idea is to write 2 words that start with C and say the words in a loud voice. So, for example, the student could say something like camera and coin, and just that. So this is for the first activity, for the warming up activity. So when we supposed to finish this activity, we can go to the main topic. So for sure, after the activity, the idea is to give people some ideas or gather some ideas about the topic they work in the activity. So talking about the main topic, which is quantifiers. So in this slide, the idea is to introduce the student to the topic by saying what are quantifiers, maybe making um, a highlight over countables and uncountable nouns. Even so, this topic was a topic already um, reviewed last week. So some students which come to this class already knows this topic, but the idea is just to refresh that because this one is so important to introduce quantifiers, and that is the idea here. After that, it is to interact with people, asking them why are quantifiers important, because it's relevant. The students not only know the grammatic part, but also which or why better um, learn this topic could help them to have a better English. After that, we have here countables and uncountable nouns, just to remember, just to ask them some information in order to start um, from the same information. So that's the idea here. And after that, we present the main quantifiers we are planning to talk. So those one are much, many, little, few, and a lot of. Maybe here the idea is just to practice the pronunciation and ask them if those one are familiar for them, just to check or to verify the previous knowledge about the topic. After that, we introduce the much and little quantifiers words by saying or by giving some examples and giving the definition, and asking them some examples also based on quantifiers as well. So we present here some sentence talking about the correct way to use it, talking about the common ways to use it. Many and few are the following words to introduce. Relate to countable nouns, and the idea is the same, express them or talk about the definitions, on examples, maybe make an interaction doing some questions and asking them if the topic is clear. So we come back again to this graphic in order to say that much and little belonged to the non-countable nouns, and many and few to the countable nouns. After that, we can introduce a lot of, because a lot of could a particular characteristic, and this one is related to the possibility to use it in both kind of nouns, countable or and not countable. So after that, we can talk about that. We can say which is the purpose of a lot of the main characteristics, and for sure practice with some examples by talking with students. Again, we come back to this graphic just to locate the students to give in a specific order the information, and they can acquire better. Just to say that we already talk about those ones, those five words or those five quantifiers, and to add that a lot of could also use it lots of in a more informal way. And finally, to talk about some and any, those ones were aborted or were talked last week also when we talk about countables and non-countables. But I consider it's good to talk about those one again in order to the students could gather all the main quantifiers. So that's why we took or introduce again the sun and any sun examples, and just that. And we come back again to this slide just to select the squares with students, have a short conversation and change the colors, talking about which could be related with the other in order if we are talking countable or not countable, just to be sure the knowledge was acquired. For example, to say much and little come together because those one belong to the non-countables. Nouns, many and few happens the same, talking about countables, and a lot of and lots of it's relate to both. We can use it in both countables and non-countables, and happens the same with some and any, but specifically when we want to talk about things that we are not sure if there are or not, and any specifically when we want to ask or we want to say something in a negative way, something like that. It's just to give a graphic possibility to memorize or to take in account the information. And finally, the idea is to put in practice and to assess the student with, again, in order to make the topic easy and fun. So the idea is to just to practice. So everybody, every student should to go to the platform World. So to do that, I have to send them by chat a link, and they get into the link and could arrive to the platform or to come here and start with their activity. This one is the activity prepared for them, and they will find some sentence, and the idea is to find the correct word that they have to select in order to complete it in a good way. So for example, we suppose that they should to read and notice that, for example, this noun is countable. So for example, I'm going to select this one. After that, we submit the answer, and the platform give the answer immediately if it's correct or not. So, for example, here we are going to select a word, a wrong word, just to show you. So that's many money. So, for example, just to show you what happens is word. So the same, the platform say to the student that is warned. And to do that, I prepare 10 words. And for sure, the students take more time do it in the exercise. Me as a teacher, I mean, the students could answer, could make any question they have in order to solve the topic, or to review if they are some question of the topic was clear or not. So that's why the activity is important to develop at the end of the class. So we are almost finished. For example, that happens. So we are going to check at the end. I read for example, I'm going to put this one. And I consider students get some fun with that. And this one is the last one. So it's kind of a statement. We think too much and feel too little. And yes, we finish the activity. So we suppose that in my platform, when people answer that, I can check how many answer were correct or not, and make some appreciations, give them a feedback, and for sure solve the exercise together. So after that, the class is supposed to finish doing some specific questions, or maybe depend of if for me as a teacher, the students need to practice more or not. And to end, we have another final activity just to get fun. Having in account, we are in October, so Halloween is close. So the final activity before to leave is relate to a statement, and the idea is the students give together, doing that together, some letters in order to find the statement. So at the end, we suppose they will find it or not. They have 7 chances to do it. And just to, for example, in that case, I crossed the 7, so I finish the activity, and I can win. So that's the idea. And yes, just to finish, I have to send them the link, the attendance link, and say some words in order to incentivize students to keep going or keep studying and practicing the topics, and for sure the English language. Here in these scenarios or in other, or using other tools, but that's the idea. So after that, I have to thank students and say goodbye, and just that. So thank you to watch this video. Um, this is um, this is just to show you the activities and the class prepare. Goodbye.